Hello, you are welcome to my channel, and in today's video we are going to continue with gateway of tally and ledger creation, which is the part 2. So in the part 1 of this video we looked at how we create ledger and how the gateway changes after what a company is being created. So when you create a company, you will see a new gateway, or you will not see the previous gateway as in when you open tally fresh or a first time user. After the company creation, the gateway of tally what changes. So we saw the change in what gateway of tally, and we created various ledgers. In today's video we are going to continue with what the ledger creation. We are going to continue with what the ledger creation. So we saw how we create ledgers. So we created a sales local, the sales, export, purchase local, wages and salary. In today's video we are going to continue with what social security contribution, advertising expense, amortization, legal expense. So we are going to create the remaining ledgers today, and we will learn how we create group and what how we use group, how we create group and how we use group. Okay, so without wasting my time, I'll go ahead to what continue with what my ledger creation. So the next ledger we have is what social security contribution. Social security contribution. Now to create social security contribution, how do we create ledger? We know to create ledger, you go to what gateway of tally, and the masters we go to what accounting info, we go to ledgers, and we go to create. So we are creating a single ledger. We are creating a single ledger. So after this single ledger, I'll show you what a multiple ledger is, or how we create multiple ledgers. So let's create a single ledger. We have what social security contribution. Yes, social security contribution, which is under what operating expenses. So social security contributions are under what operating expenses. So we go ahead to save. Now we go ahead to check our next expense. So our next expense is what we have advertising expense, then followed by amortization expense. So we have what we have what advertising expense, which is also under operating expense. Go ahead to save it. Then we have our amortization expense, which is also under what operating expense. Yes. The next one we have is what legal expense. Legal expense is so the next one we have is legal expense, right? Legal expense is what an indirect expense. Legal expense is not what an operating expense, an indirect expense. So we go ahead to save it. Yes. So we are done creating the ledgers here. We move on to it. So we have bad debt. We know bad debt to be what? Bad debt to be an operating expense. Bad debt to be an operating expense. So operating expense. Yes, go ahead to save it. Then we have what? We have commission. We have bank charges. So bank charges is an indirect expense. So we have bank charges. Bank charges, which is what an indirect expense. So we put it under what? Our indirect expense. Okay. So we see. So we've created the ledgers up to what? Up to bank charges. Now we have commissions and fees expense. We have traveling and transport expense. We have motor running expense. All these are also what operating expenses. But then with these ones, I want us to use the multiple ledger. So why are we going to use the multiple ledger, or when do we use multiple ledger? So when it comes to the ledgers, you the accountant will decide how quick you want to do it. So they all do the same thing, but just that with the multiple ledger, you pick a particular group. So a group becomes the what? The main ledger, or the main what? The main item in your financial statement. So let me say the elements of what? The elements of what? A financial statement. So when we pick assets, right? So multiple ledger, using multiple ledger, you select your asset. So if it's a non-current asset, your non-current asset becomes what? Your group. Then you put all items under your non-current assets there. You don't have to be going next. It's just, so let's go to multiple ledger. When you go to create, so create multiple ledger, what do? Under which group are we creating our multiple ledger? So we are creating our multiple ledger under operating expenses. So this one, you see, we are just selecting our operating expenses here. Instead of going to create single ledger, then you go and select primary or the sub what? Ledger of what? Of the item you are creating. This one, you just select the group under which the ledgers you are creating is what's being placed. So we have what? We have operating expenses to be our group. And what are the items under the operating expense? So we have what I said, we have commission and fees expense, traveling and transport expense. So we have commissions and fees expense, right? We have commissions and fees expense. So we use we don't have any, so you see they bring it automatically. The next one is what? The next one is traveling and transport, and then followed by motor vehicle. So we have traveling and transport experience, right? Then the next one is motor running expense. So with the multiple ledger, when you select the group, you can just put all the distance, and you can put all the ledgers under the group, just that particular group. So go ahead to save it. Yes, so we've learned how we use the multiple ledger. That's when you have all the items you are entering in the operating expense. You don't have to be using the single ledger because it will waste your time. You just go to the multiple ledger, you select what? The group under which you are creating these ledgers, then you enter the ledgers. So now let's go to the next one. The next one, we have what? We have depreciation. Depreciation expense. We have plant and machinery, motor vehicle, and furniture. So with depreciation, the accountant can decide to create what? Accumulated depreciation for the depreciation transactions. So maybe you decide that you create accumulated depreciation, where you record all depreciation charges, or you can still go ahead to record your depreciations under your current assets, where you let them have what? Credit balances, so it can less you can less them from what? The cost to get your what? NBV. So with this, I want us to learn how we create a group. So we are going to create accumulated depreciation for our depreciations. So to create a group, we still go to at Gateway of Tally. We go to Masters and Masters. We have accounting info. Select accounting info. When you select group, so we are creating a new group. So now the accumulated depreciation becomes what? A group under which we put all what? Depreciation on assets, on our fixed assets. That's where we'll be putting it. So we create a single group, which is accumulated depreciation. It's under what? Non-current asset. So we put it under non-current asset. Then we go ahead to what? Save it. We've created our group, right? So now we go ahead to create our ledgers. So this one too, since they are multiple, or since they are more than one, I want us to use the multiple what? To create it. So we go to create under multiple, then we have what? We are creating under what? Accumulated. So accumulated depreciation becomes the group. Then we have what? So let's look at the transactions there. We have depreciation, we have plant and machinery, we have motor vehicles. So let's go. We have what? plants and machinery. Plants and machinery. Yes, then we have what? Motor vehicle. We have motor vehicle. Yes, motor vehicle expense. Then we have the last one to be what? We have the last one to be what? Furniture and fittings. We have furniture, 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 furniture and fittings. So we go ahead to see them. And yes. Then our last two transactions are also under what? Operating expenses. We have dues and subscription expense. Then we have what? Staff welfare expense. So we go ahead to create them. So using the multiple so that it will be quick. And the operating expense, yes, we have what? So the first one is what? We have dues and subscriptions, and we have what? Staff welfare. So we have dues and subscription, yes, subscription, and we have what? Staff welfare, staff welfare. No, it's not supposed to be under non-current, so we come here to change. It's supposed to be under what? Operating expense. So everything changes. Then go ahead to what? Save it. Yes. So today we've created what? All our ledgers. We've created all our ledgers, all the ledgers we need for the class. We've created them. So to look at the ledgers you've created, you go to Gateway of Tally. You go to what? Under reports we have display. You go to display. You go to what? List of accounts. So you go to list of accounts. You will see all the accounts we've created. So the operating expenses we've created, they are all here. That's all for today. Today we've looked at how we create the ledgers. So in our next video, we'll continue to look at what? How we enter transactions and how we create more ledgers. How we enter transactions and how we create more ledgers. Thank you for watching.